I really just don't see the point. Like, the patch, oh my god, that voice crack. The patch was like, yeah, they may have made certain enemies a bit stronger against fire, but like, so what? It's gonna take one extra shot for you to set stuff on fire with the coyote, or like one half of a second longer for you to set stuff on fire with the flamethrowers, like the purifier torture or flamer stratagem, or it's gonna take you. No, I'm not. I wouldn't even say it would take you an extra grenade to set stuff on fire with incendiary grenades. Oh, laser weapons are gonna take 1 nanosecond longer for you to set shit on fire with. Big fucking whoop. It's still, you're still gotta take into account that you're doing damage with the laser itself on top of the fire. And so, like, the only way that that's gonna be, like, weak at all is if you are sitting stationary like a sentry and only, like, burst firing. Like, you're basically farting fire at the enemy. Like, that is such a nothing burger argument. Like, the fucking enemies being, my point ultimately is, like, enemies being stronger against fire is not a big deal. And besides, they, like, on top of that, like, for example, with the rupture warriors, they made, like, certain limbs, I think it was the legs, a bit weaker. So, like, you have to, like, hit them with less to actually get rid of their legs, which is where you should be aiming against any warrior type, not just the rupture warriors. On top of that, they made them overall fucking slower. Oh, but they made the limbs on the flesh mob more durable. Yeah, they also added an effective weakness to it. They gave the fucking flesh mobs heads like a massive amount of critical damage. And I know I'm gonna get some people saying, well, that critical, you shouldn't have to aim for the heads for that to matter. They should just make the durable damage less. Tell me, against a Hulk, are you gonna aim for its face and or back? Or are you gonna shoot it in its dick? Where are you gonna aim against a Hulk? You're gonna aim for the actual designated weak spot. That's what so, against the flesh mobs, where should you aim now? The fucking heads. Oh, but they made the heads more durable. Yeah, but when you pop them, you're still gonna take out, like, a third of its HP. So, like, take out 2, 3, or 4 heads, and then bada bing, bada boom, the fucking thing is gone for, oh my god, that ship just got vaporized. I got distracted there for a moment. No, but they also made flesh mobs take longer to get set on fire. Yeah, again, because now they want you to aim for the heads. Again, we've literally had weak spots for fucking ever, basically. So, like, aim for the weak spot. We've known this, people. We've fucking known this. What else? I saw some people saying that, like, complaints about the pummeler and just the damage and durable increases of just all, like, durable damage and just overall damage increases of all the other stuff being, like, nothing, basically, but that's just overall untrue. Specifically, I want to talk about the pummeler. Like, the pummeler is a stun weapon. It is not meant to effectively kill, it is meant to slow down, and it's a guerrilla warfare weapon. We've known this, people. We've known this. It doesn't take a fucking super genius to figure out that, oh, if this weapon stuns things that I shoot it with, maybe it's meant for stuff revolved around stun. Oh, well, it should do a massive amount of damage at the same time. No, that's not how a stun weapon works. That's not how any stun weapon should ever work. That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. Stun weapons are meant to be either used in a team strategy where you stun the target and then your ally with an actually effective weapon takes them out. Well, not everyone wants to work with a team. Not everyone can get their team to work. Have you actually tried? And if you have actually tried, that still doesn't make it the dev's fault. That's not the weapon's fault. That's the community's fault. If a weapon requires teamwork, I'm sorry, it's gonna require teamwork, and you can't fucking complain about it. Well, you can't complain. Everyone can complain, but at the same time, like, it's stupid. My point is, it's stupid. The complaints about, like, I specifically Fick-Filet's video. The complaints about, like, oh, the patch was deceptive. It really wasn't. They made it very clear what was going on. They said that, oh, but they said they didn't touch the coyote. Yeah, because they fucking didn't. They touched incendiary weapons. The coyote just happens to fall under that category. The weapon itself remains the same. It's just fire in general got changed. Big fucking whoop. The coyote still does the same amount of damage, has the same amount of ergonomics, has the same fire rate, the same ammo supply, same durable damage. Incendiary in general, flamethrowers, laser weapons, incendiary grenades, the burn from Thermite, sparkler, the fucking sparklers that we got from Masters of Ceremony, all of that shit gotta change, and it's basically a nothing change because there was like a billion other changes that balance out that one fucking negative change. Big fucking womp, fucking womp. That's my honest to God opinion on the situation is womp, fucking womp, my guy. Like, ultimately my conclusion, my point, my too long didn't read statement is the patch was fine. And again, they've said that they have another patch planned, so like, just wait for that patch, I guess. You don't know what's gonna be in that fucking patch. You don't know if there's gonna be surprise changes. See, this is why I don't particularly like to interact with the Helldivers community, which sucks because there's a lot of really fun people to talk to, but most of the time it's just shit like this, and I hate it. I really do hate it, because there are plenty of valid things to complain about, plenty of actually reasonable complaints, like, oh, Dragon Roach, like, a big change they made is the Dragon Roaches can now have their wings count as a fatal weak spot. That was a big thing people complained about. Just Leviathans in general, hey, they changed that. Then, of course, there's the Ruptures, the Rupture strain in general. They've pretty much changed all of them, except for the Charger. I don't think they changed the Charger. They're still working on the performance stuff. That's good on them. I'm not... call me a glaze diver if you must. I am just sick of how many people just undermine the efforts of Arrowhead because of issues, because of all these other issues. But like, they've shown that they do work on stuff. They do get stuff fixed. What would you rather we just... Well, what the fuck? I just accidentally hit the home button on my controller. Where was I? Would you rather a company that, while they do take some time to get stuff out, they do eventually do it? Or a company that just flat out ignores you? Would you rather Arrowhead or EA? I would much prefer Arrowhead, personally. Would you rather Arrowhead or Activision? I'd personally prefer Arrowhead. There are plenty... Again, I'm not even saying, like, you can't complain about stuff. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm never gonna say that you can't have an opinion, you can't have complaints about a game. Criticism helps games, well, most of the time. There is plenty of examples of valid criticism. I truly believe that you are entitled to complain, you're entitled to your own opinion. I'm entitled to complain about your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm entitled to complain about your complaints, to disagree with you, and that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. Again, ultimately, my point is that hop off Arrowhead's case, dude. I feel like the community is way too fucking harsh with them. Way too fucking harsh with the dudes. Except for that Aravan situation. That's fucked. That is beyond fucked. That there is no reason that Aravan should have been treated like that. I just... Yeah, Arrowhead's made a lot of mistakes, but the community doesn't help. Plain as day, the community really doesn't help. I'm sorry. It's just, that's just genuinely the truth. Arrowhead has made a bunch of fucky wuckies, but the community could be a bit fucking nicer about it. The community could be a bit more understanding. Could be a bit more empathetic. Because, like, you don't know what happens at the studio. You don't know what issues occur. Because let me tell you, coding is fucking confusing. And I don't even code. I want to go into college for coding and computer programming, but, like, I imagine it can't be fucking easy. I imagine that, like, first of all, you gotta figure out, like, the issue that's causing the problems with, like, I probably should clarify, I'm talking about, like, bugs and performance stuff. You gotta figure out the issue in the code, where it's getting fucked up, and then you gotta actually figure out a way to fix that. Because you might do a fix, turns out, and think to yourself, okay, that should get it. Surprise, it didn't. So then you gotta do it again. You don't know how many tries it's gonna take. You simply don't. And then, like, in terms of, like, nerfing and, like, balancing and stuff like that, like, if you buff something, you've gotta buff other things. That's how balance works. If you nerf something, you've gotta nerf other things. That's how it works. They can't just do like a one singular change and then not change anything else. That's not how that fucking works. That's not how it's ever going to work. I don't care. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't. Like, let's put it like this. Let's say, what's a good example? Let's say you've got one enemy that does fire damage and another enemy that does ice damage. Let's say so obviously fire and ice, they interact. One is stronger than the other. Fire melts ice, ice freezes fire. Let's say you decide to make a pretty big change to the ice enemy, and now it's dominating the fire enemy. But you didn't, so you then would have to obviously make changes to the fire enemy. Because if you don't make changes to the fire enemy to balance it out, the ice enemy is going to have an unfair advantage. That's how balancing works. I'm sorry if you don't like nerfs, but compared to when you ultimately compare to how many nerfs they were previously doing, one singular nerf in a sea of buffs from this patch, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I think I'd rather that. I think I'd take a sea of buffs and then, like, one kind of nerf to just an in general kind of damage, but then, like, at the same time, is it really a nerf? Because it really doesn't feel like it. I don't know. This is just a bit of a rant from me. I don't agree with the community. I don't agree with Fick-Filet's video. I just don't. I don't agree with all the stuff. I just don't. Like, yeah, it is a nerf. I'm not gonna deny that. I think, like, earlier in my rant, I denied that it was a nerf. If I didn't, then I didn't. But that's my point, pretty much, but this is my point, though. This is just a rant from me. I've never really done a video like this, so it's gonna be a bit new, but yeah, that's pretty much how I feel in the matter. The patch wasn't deceptive. Yeah, there may have been there was no, actually no, there wasn't a stealth nerf. It was very clear that incendiary weapons got a nerf when enemies got fire damage, like numbers increased. Oh well. It's not that big of a deal. It's honestly like the ultimatum losing the ability to destroy stratagem cameras. But you know, on that note, this is just a bit of a rant from me. Watch it if you want. If you don't watch it, oh well. Someone will watch it. Someone will care about it. That's my honest to God thoughts on the situation. I dropped something. Peace out, brothers and sisters of Super Earth. See ya.